Tips for organizing your computer screen when teaching a Google Meet class. Tip number 1. Make the window with the speaker notes as small as possible, but still large enough to where you can easily read the teacher directions. When you look at the speaker notes, you will see a bar that separates the picture of the slide and the teacher directions. You can slide that bar as far left as possible. This will give you a little bit more space to either make the speaker notes larger for you to read more easily, or to also make the box smaller, but don't make it too small, otherwise it will cut off the words. But if you make this box smaller, it will give you a little bit more space to increase the size of the Google Meet window, which will then make the lesson slides appear larger and easier for you to read. Tip number 2. Make sure you remove any additional black space at the top and bottom or left and right of the slides that you're sharing. When you have this additional space, it will make the part of the slide that you need to see and read appear smaller for both you and the student. I recommend doing this before entering Google Meet, but if you forget, it's okay. All you need to do is go back to the tab that has the Google Slides and then resize it to make sure all the black space is gone and the slide itself fills the screen. When you do that, just go back to your Google Meet tab and you will see all of that black space is gone. Once you're in here, make sure you then resize your window again to make it as large as possible. It will not affect the slides when you do this. So I'm going to make the bottom go all the way down to the bottom of my computer. Make sure the top is all the way at the top of your computer. The right is all the way far right as it can go. And the left side goes as far as you can without overlapping the speaker notes. Now you know the slides are as large as possible, which will make it easier for you and your students to read. Tip number 3. Test out the different camera layouts. When you first enter a Google Meet class, it will default to the auto layout. That means Google Meet will determine what they believe is the optimal size and location for the slides that you're sharing and the camera boxes. You will notice that when your browser is a little bit thinner, like this, the cameras will appear at the bottom. But if you make it a little bit wider, they will appear on the right side. Another layout option, if you click on the 3 dots, more options, right next to the red call button, click Change Layout. You can also use the sidebar. When you click on this, Google Meet will force all of the cameras to lock into one spot on the right side. You cannot change the size of the cameras, but it does help because the cameras appear smaller, which will allow the Google Slide window to be a little bit larger. Just make sure, again, you have your browser as long as possible, because if you have it too small, you won't be able to see all of your students. Choose the layout that works best for your computer and the layout that you think is best for you, because it will not affect your students. They can change their own camera layouts. Tip number 4. If you have done all of those things already and you're still having a difficult time either reading the speaker notes or seeing the slides, you can then move your speaker box slightly off screen. When I move it slightly off screen to the right, I want to make sure I can still see the picture of the next slide, so I can click, and I want to see a little bit of the previous in case I need to go back if I click too fast. When I do this, I can still see the speaker notes, and I can then make these larger if I need to see them more clearly. And I can also have more space to increase the size of my Google Meet window, which will of course make the slides easier for you to see and read. And my last tip, tip number 5, is for read alouds. Remember, read alouds are for the teacher to read, not the students. Even when doing all those other tips, it can sometimes still be difficult to read the small text in a read aloud. If that happens, I recommend making your Google window full screen while you are reading. To do that, if you're using a PC, you can click the square in the top right corner, or if you're using a Mac, there is a green circle in the top left corner. When you click on those buttons, it will automatically make your browser full screen, which will then make the slides as large as possible, making it easier for you to read the small text. When you're done reading that page, you would then just click either the square or the green circle again, and then your browser will automatically return back to the original location so you can read the teacher directions or advance to the next slide. And then again, you can click the button to make it full screen while you are reading the story to your students. Again, this will not affect what the students see.